Tonight's guest was a straight C student in high school. She got over $100,000 awarded to her in scholarships. She started her own business and is now being honored by the White House, featured on the Today Show, Entrepreneur, and speaking at multiple TED events. So find out how she did it. Stay tuned. Welcome to episode 41 of the Small Businesses Do It Better show. I'm your host, CARISSA DUNPHY, and I want to start really quick in the background. I'm going to bring up the live chat, which we have up on our live stream if you are watching. So if you have any questions for myself or for our guest, let me know in the live chat. I'll be checking it. So a little bit about tonight's guest. I first met FELECIA Hatcher when she spoke at OVALI's Back to Business Building Summit, and I was literally floored by all these things that she was saying. Amazing things that she does. And her company makes ice cream, so it makes it even cooler all the way around. So we'll talk with her in just a second, but first I want to tell you about our sponsors, OVALI. At OVALI, we want to help you create something for you. We empower your home office lifestyle through web hosting, cloud services, and domain names. Visit ovali.com to work with us today. And for the listeners of the Small Businesses Do It Better podcast, Audible is offering a free audio book download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. So go to audibletrial.com/SBDIB for Small Businesses Do It Better. And one of the cool things that I like about Audible is I'm in a book club, totally for geeks. It's called the Bootstrap Book Club, and you can find more about it at kickstartkitchen.com. They were on the show a while back. So I get all of my books for the book club on Audible, and I just listen to them in my car. It makes it easy and quick and efficient and save time. So check them out at kickstartkitchen.com. It's a bootstrap book club. So hi to Christina and Jules. And news, I want to remind everybody that we do accept guest blog posts on the Small Businesses Do It Better blog. So if you are an expert in your industry, then go to the smallbusinessdoitbetter.com on the contact page and submit a guest blog post. Also, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, Blip TV, and we're also on a new platform, which is very cool. The player's on the side of the website. It's called Stitcher Radio, and they have the iPhone app. You can go on the website, but basically it's our new episodes get fed to you through another medium, which is very cool. It's always good to have all these options to make it more convenient for you to listen. And in other geek news, I feel this is very important to share with everybody. And my friend here, Han Solo, if you haven't heard, Star Wars Lucasfilms teamed up with Angry Birds and made a Star Wars Angry Bird game. This is incredible to geeks everywhere, I have to tell you. So it was all over the news this past weekend. So Han Solo, we're really excited about this. So if you're an Angry Birds fan. And on another note, Han Solo was made by allblownup.com, and they were on the show. We featured them a couple weeks ago, and they are going to be on the Today Show next week on the 23rd, the day after Thanksgiving, on Friday. So I just want to let everyone know that's pretty cool. They were just on the show. Now they're going to be on Today's Show. So hi to Shelly and her husband, and Han thanks you as well. Maybe he'll be on the Today Show. So anyways, I would like to start talking to FELECIA, our guest. So FELECIA Hatcher, her company is FEVERISH Ice Cream. So let's welcome FELECIA. She gets some applause noise in the background.
Hold on.
Thank you so much for joining us, FELECIA.
What you're doing.
This is awesome. Okay, so like I said, I first met you when you spoke at the OVALI's Back to Business Building Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so impressed with everything you were saying. And your experiences, what you've done, the companies that you've worked with, your out of the box marketing, which we'll talk about, because it's just, I am like, my brain's fried just thinking about all the things that are going on with you and what you're doing. So Felicia's website, very cool back here. This is her own website at FeliciaHatcher.com, and her company website, FEVERISHICECREAM.com, is right here in the background. Okay, so one of the cool things about Feverish Ice Cream is they make, I don't know how you'd correctly word this, but adult ice cream. You have to be over 21 to eat these ice creams. So, and you also have your consumers, I guess you'd call them, suggest flavors.
Yes.
And I saw some crazy flavors on your website and on your Facebook page. So check out her site. This is insane. Okay, so I'm just too excited. I can't stop talking. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how High Heels started your business?
My name is Felicia Hatcher. I am one of the chief popsicles of Feverish Ice Cream and Gourmet Pops, based in Miami. The other co-chief popsicle is my husband. We own the business together. I've probably been clumsy all my life. You know, honestly, my mom stopped going to my basketball games because she said I'd fall too much, which is embarrassing. But that really, I guess that I can say I fell into Feverish Ice Cream. You know, it was just an idea that came from running after an ice cream truck. You know, you hear the ice cream truck music rolling by, especially on a hot day, and it's always hot in South Florida. And you turn into that 5-year-old kid and you start chasing, or at least I started chasing. And forgetting that I was in heels, I fall flat on my face trying to chase after this ice cream truck. And luckily the truck did stop. You know, that was very nice of him. And while I was on the floor, it was kind of like that's when the light bulb went off for me. The first one was I'm way too old to chase after an ice cream truck. And then the second one was like, why hasn't anyone come up with like a cooler way for adults to enjoy ice cream without having to chase after an ice cream truck? So that's kind of where the idea came from. But I sat on it for a while because I absolutely love what I was doing in marketing.
And we'll talk about your marketing in a minute, because incredible. I can't even put it into words. But a couple of the books that you wrote, which we'll also talk about in a minute, what tips can you give to those who want to start a business on a ramen noodle budget?
Oh boy, I mean that's us. You know, we started very, very bare bones, very humble beginnings. You know, buying 2 ice cream carts off the luxury shopping website Craigslist, and doing it, you know, on our own. And without any outside investors at the time, and just being very scrappy, you know. And I think a lot of the things, you learn a lot of those lessons by just having to get really creative with your limited resources when you are forced to start a business without any money, especially when you think of the way the economy is right now. You know, the banks are they're not necessarily dried up, but they're not giving the money to small businesses. You know, the SBA and those things are really hard to come by. I mean, crowdfunding has really picked up, and I'm really excited about that opportunity. But some of the biggest tips for starting a business is, first of all, start. You know, everyone has an idea, of course. I like to tell people ideas are absolutely worthless. Execution is absolutely everything. And, you know, I praise and I absolutely love the book Lean Startup Principles, because it talks about building a minimal viable product. And that's just scaling your idea down to a point where you can actually start right now. I mean, you're going to constantly think big, but start now, and grow your business and grow it organically as it goes on. So I give the example of, hey, if you want to start a university, that's definitely going to take money. I can't tell you that you can start that with a $500, but what you can do is you can tap into your social network and go on websites like udemy.com and start the class in the area that you have an expertise in. Tap into your social network. Let people know that you're offering this class. Hey, pay me $25, pay me $100 or $500 a class, and then grow your class from there. And that's something that you can do absolutely right now right after the show, of course.
Right. That's an awesome tip. And that Lean Startup book, great book. We love it. It's actually on our bookshelf right behind me here. You yourself have written 2 books. There's our book right there. So the first one I read somewhere, the first one took you 10 years to write. The second one took you 6 months to write.
Yeah.
I love how honest you are with everything that you do. You just put it out there and you're real. Tell us about both of your books that you wrote.
Mm-hmm. So the first book that I wrote, yes, it took me way too long to write and finish that book. And I'm probably sure a lot of people can relate to me because you have that idea and you write a page here and then you get writer's block for like 2 or 3 years and then you kind of come back, and that was the process of that. But it was about my life as a high school student. I wasn't the best student. My grades weren't that great, kind of coasted along. I had a guidance counselor tell me that I'd never make it to college because of my grades, and that was kind of like that kick in the butt to prove her wrong. But then also know that, I wasn't a walking GPA. So won $120,000 in scholarships and started sharing the story with a business that I started when I was in college. And so I wrote this book, How to Start that's the second book, The C Student's Guide to Scholarships, which is a creative guide to finding scholarships when your grades suck and your parents are broke, and got picked up by Peterson. So that's a really cool accomplishment with that book. And my second book, again, is about my process of starting Feverish Ice Cream, and that's called How to Start a Business on a Ramen Noodle Budget. So if you remember how creative you were able to get with ramen noodles, it's like that meal that you throw in some chicken one day or some shrimp another day, and you get creative with it, maybe light a few candles, and all of a sudden you have a gourmet meal, and I'm like, if you can channel that like raw creativity, you can channel that into getting creative and scrappy with a business too.
Yeah, ramen totally changes with the proper ambiance. So another cool thing that I remember you saying when you were presenting was what you bought on eBay for a couple bucks that turned out to be like the craziest thing that you would never think of. So tell us what that was and why it's so big in your business.
Okay, so with Feverish and what I was doing when I was working for companies, I was in experiential marketing. So it was all about creating an experience. And, we were, again, because we didn't have a lot of money, we couldn't afford traditional advertising. I was using social media and just finding different ways to kind of take what we were doing viral and just get people excited about it. And I saw this like 3-foot ice cream cone on eBay for like 12, I think it was about $12. It was like super cheap. I'm like, I'm going to buy that thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to buy it. And, I bought it, and at first I would just take it out, and people like go crazy over it. I'm talking about not even kids, but like grown adults would like go crazy. I'm like, oh my God, that's the biggest ice cream cone I've seen ever. And that ice cream cone has probably been in more photos than anything else in our business. And people love it. They take pictures with it. They have fun with it. They are fighting each other with it. They're pretending to eat it. But it was a $12 ice cream cone that was something that was able to turn into an experience. And
is that the one that you have mounted on top of the car?
Yeah, people jump on top of the car to take pictures with it. They'll jump on top of the car and grab it off to take pictures with it. It's pretty hilarious, like to turn around and see like a 30-year-old guy standing on top of one of your trucks.
That's insane. $12. But you said in the summit that people want photo ops. They want that picture to share on Facebook, and if it has your name on it, even better.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! I mean, we're in. That's the culture right now. I think of like my niece who's 9 months old. I'm like, she has probably been in more pictures in the past 9 months than I probably have been in my whole entire life. But that's the culture, and people, when they love something and when, they'll be the biggest brand ambassadors for you, but you have to have that thing to engage with them. And sometimes it can be as small as something like a giant $12 pops ice cream cone.
People in the live chat are just saying, Tracy is like, everybody needs an ice cream cone that's 3 feet. That's awesome. So if you guys have any questions for Felicia, let me know in the chat. Now, this is a big question for me because I talk to a ton of small business owners and they all want to know how to get their name to these huge companies. And you've worked with all these companies that everybody wants to work with. So we have an image of some of them and they're on your website too. Insane. Cadillac, Google, Adidas, Whole Foods, J. Crew, Playboy, Sheridan, Bacardi, Vitamin. I mean, it's insane. And at the bottom, like you said, Tom Cruise doesn't have a logo, but you work with Tom Cruise. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They filmed Rock of Ages down in Miami, and it was like one of those just slow days at work, and you get this phone call, and it's like, yeah, I work for Tom Cruise, and we would like to have you guys come. He wants to treat the whole entire cast and crew to your ice cream. And I'm like, what? Whatever. But yeah, it happened to be true. I mean, on 2 occasions while they were filming in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So that was a really cool experience being on the set of the movie and him wanting to treat his staff to our product. I thought was a really cool experience. You know, we have an amazing client list, and people are often like, how does a popsicle company client list like that? And, you know, people have an emotional connection to food, and that's something that has really made sense, or that's usually, you know, my pitch to companies when they reach out to us or I reach out to them. People have an emotional connection to food, and if they feel good, they're more receptive to kind of hearing your branding message. But, you know, what my husband and I did was we really took all the experience that we stole from the big boys. So we worked for a lot of really cool companies, and we took all the good things that they were doing and interjected it into a really old, tried and true ice cream industry, and created an experience. You know, my best advice for trying to get the big clients is really all about positioning. You know, if you are, you know, say you want to go after Google or Scion or any of those big companies, you know, anytime that they're doing an event here when you're trying to get your foot in, take your product there and volunteer. Put your product in that place, like be in that environment. Because a lot of times what happens is those event planners that are there, those customers that are there, once they see you there and they immediately associate you and your product with being in that environment, kind of being in that culture, take the pictures. Pictures and video are huge when pitching to companies because they're like, oh my gosh, if she did this event for Google and everyone's smiling and they absolutely love it, I can also see Dell. You know, Dell wants to be the Apple or whatever. So that's definitely what some of my advice. But you can make the phone calls all day long, but actually put yourself into the environment and position yourself, and that definitely helps. Amazing
advice. Amazing. I just want to take that in for a second. Okay. So I want you, before we let you go, I want you to tell everybody where we can find you at, what you're going to be at, where you're at in Miami. You're opening a new store. A lot of things going on here.
Yeah, a lot of things have been crazy. We actually just got a huge investment into FEVERISH, so that's exciting. We're opening our first concept store. This is going to be one of 3 here in Miami in the Midtown area, December 1st. And then over the next 12 months, we're rolling out to the West Coast where you're at.
Yay!
Exactly. Not in Seattle, but Pasadena, California, and then also in Puerto Rico. So we're really excited. I'm super tired. But feverishicecream.com, and we're Twitter fanatics, and the holidays are rolling up. So if you have a holiday, Thanksgiving, or Christmas flavor you want to tweet to us so we can go into the lab, we might just name it after you guys. So
what are some of the crazy flavors that are fan suggested that you've made?
Oh boy, chocolate wasabi has probably been the craziest. It was a really interesting process to get to that point. We just did a really huge event called the Jamaican Jerk Festival down here where we had to come up with a jerk chocolate ice cream and like a jerk vanilla ice cream. So those are also a lot of fun.
I think on the Today Show you made peanut butter and jelly.
Which happens to be one of my favorite. Peanut butter and jelly. Pineapple basil is another favorite. Watermelon ginger vodka, which is something that that people love. mango bourbon, which we did for Maker's Mark, was a great flavor. You wouldn't think those two things went too well together, but yeah, I mean, we've done some crazy stuff.
Very cool. And Felicia and Feverish provide tips and resources for doing your own ice cream. So like a couple videos I watched were at home making, rather than buying molds, how to use molds like with glasses and all sorts of different things, and giving you all sorts of tips on all that fun stuff so you can like do it with your kids or whoever. Yeah. So that's super cool. So check out if you're in Pasadena or Miami. We have some people in California, so I'm gonna see if I can get them to overnight me some 21 plus ice cream. All right, because I've never had that.
Rolling out in 2013, but so they still have to come to Miami right now, or we could ship. But come to the Miami; it'll be a fun experience.
Super awesome, Felicia. I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I learned so much from just seeing you present and reading about you. So thanks again. And again, feverishicecream.com and FeliciaHatcher.com. We can get our books there. So thank you again.
You're welcome. And I can't wait to meet you, dude. I'm so excited. You got to come to Miami.
Welcome to Miami. Okay, so thank you again. And I just want ice cream now. Even though it's totally cold here, I just could eat ice cream all the time.
You know, eat like 2 or 3.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Felicia.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Yum. Okay, so now I know, oops, I pushed the wrong button. James from Aqua Fire Pit was in the chat earlier saying hi to everyone. So we're going to talk about our product this week. Oh, he's in Miami, and this is perfect. So we had the ice, now we have the fire. So the product this week that we're featuring is Aqua Fire Pit. This is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. Okay, so Aqua Fire Pit is the first commercially available floating fire pit in the world. This is just awesome, and they are beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so Aqua Fire Pit is completely 100% made in the United States, which is a big selling point, especially to a lot of entrepreneurs who are making and purchasing products. It's completely customizable. You can make it have it made in any shape or size. Most of these ones are square. You can get them in acrylic, tile, or metal. And they have propane or fire logs, so you can really jazz it up and get exactly what you want in your pool or pond or wherever you're going to have it. You can add speakers to your, like, I guess, landing pit, whatever you call that, tile. You can add speakers to it. You can add lights underneath it, so it lights up too. And I was curious about this, how the heck it doesn't just like go all over and catch the shrubs on fire, but it comes with a soft mesh weight bag, so wherever you put it, it's going to stay there. And look at these. They're absolutely gorgeous. That's the acrylic one there. There's a tile one. You can get any color. They are so cool. And I read somewhere too on the website that if you want a bigger one, then you can get like multiple pits on one flotation device. They're awesome. So James from Aqua Fire Pit is in the live chat right now. If you have any questions. Oh, he says it's called a base, not a landing thing. Sorry, James. They are very cool. Their website is aquafirepit.com, and you can tweet them at aquafirepit.
So, Chris,
beautiful.
Do you have one in your pool?
The producer here is asking me if I have one in my pool. I don't have a pool.
What?
We have a pond, and I don't have one because the pond has
that'd be cool in a pond.
Fish. But yeah, I'm totally thinking I would get mine to shape and color to look like it blends in, so that it just look like something's on fire in your backyard. But aren't they gorgeous? They are awesome. So we should hook up James and Felicia. They're both in Miami. Fire nice. Good combo there. So go check out Aqua Fire Pit. All the customizable options at aquafirepit.com. Very cool. So thanks, James and Aqua Fire Pit, for having us feature your product. It's just beautiful. I love them. All right. So next week, we're not having a show because it's Thanksgiving week. Here comes the geek in me. I'm sorry. I just can't help myself. The week after that is very exciting for me. We've got 2 people on Skype as 2 guests because they're in geographically different locations. They are the 2 guys who write SharkTankBlog.com. That is so cool. It's Rob Merlino and Kirk Taylor. That's awesome. I mean, I'm just a big Shark Tank geek, and I'm sure everybody watching is too. So the guys who write the blog, own the website, whatever, are going to be on the show via Skype. And the product that we're going to feature is very cool too. It's called Magnetie, and I won't tell you all the features, but it's a tie that has magnets in it to make it more convenient and less annoying as a tie, so you can still wear a tie, and it has some other cool features too, and I'll share that with you. Maybe I'll wear a tie on the show. So that's in 2 weeks, the week after the holiday. So thank everybody for watching, and you can visit anytime Small Businesses Do It Better to watch all the episodes, read the blog, and don't forget to submit your guest blog posts to get your business highlighted too. So thank you for watching.